Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server. I've been a little bit inspired and decided to start today's episode off with some building. There is a spot that I spotted, funny enough, and I really just wanted to put something that represented the server a little bit there, like maybe the name Hermitcraft, and then after a while I just thought, let's put the Roman numerals for fort there, IV. And that's what we're looking at right now. It's not particularly glamorous, it's definitely not finished, and I chose to build this out of stone, which is grey, pale and slightly uninteresting, but I think it's the colour to go with for some reason. I don't know why, and I really like how that looks over there, and we're going to make it look better. But this place over here has given me a wave of inspiration. I think I know what I need to do to finish this top area. Now, I did have some big and elaborate plans to build up here in the sky, but I've sort of gone off that idea, and I think I know what we need to do to finish the top of this. Mumbo has actually provided us with a very nice shape here, which we're going to take advantage of. And it was flying around this and being in this area, just taking a look at it, because it's quite glorious, and very Halloween-y, of course, but this... it's just fantastic. Gave me all the inspiration that I needed. As I was looking over here, I was thinking, wow, this world is amazing. There are some wonderful sights to see in it. But we don't have a logo or anything like that, which we actually had in a way on the last world. We had the Hermit Hills logo, and then we changed the E to a 3, and then loads of people complained about it being a 3 instead of an E, I don't know. But as I was swimming across here, or better yet, I think I was in a boat with Rendog, I was looking at this space and just thinking, like, this feels like the sort of entrance into the area, and considering that spawn is way back in that direction, and this was where we first landed, I decided this little strip right here was good for some sort of logo, and IV is what it's going to be. The number 4. But it's not finished yet. I built the eye a little bit further forward at first and felt like it needed to be pushed back. So now we have a very flat wall behind it and we have some flat sides. And I know what we need to do to finish this off. First of all, we need to get rid of this ugly yellow clay, and we need to put down some more red sand, which I have plenty of. So that's job number 1. The second bit is this side here where we've got a flat wall. We need to dig some of this away and make it curve around to the side so it meets up with this terrain again a little bit smoother. The last thing to do is to just strip a bit back on the final wall so it has a bit of a contour on it, because it's currently flat for the entire thing and I don't think we can really strip it away further than 1 block. So what I'll do is just dig this down a little bit, maybe to around this height, so there's like a visible contour, and that should hopefully help get rid of the flatness of it a little bit. You may have just spotted it as well, and probably saw in the time lapse at the beginning, that there are some sea lanterns back there as well. And like magic, the sun starts to set off in the distance. It's that distance over in that direction. And this thing is going to be illuminated, which is an important thing, I reckon. Let's throw an ender pearl down here. Have a look from further back. Oh yes, that is well and truly illuminated. And do you know what really helps keep it illuminated is that the wall behind it is very close, so all of that is bright, and so is the stone in front of it. Now I'm sure some of you are going to comment about the stone being quite bland. I'll tell you what, I am open to suggestions, maybe chucking in some andesite to break it up a little bit, but I am happy with that for now. Anyway, let's make some final changes here. So using the eye in the sky, we can really see how much of a difference that just made. I do like it. The red sand at the bottom is probably the biggest change, and the contour line behind it really helps just smooth things out a little bit. And I think there's maybe too much of a flat wall on that side, but I think we're actually good and we're going to move on. And that looks fantastic, and I doubt anyone else will ever really notice this, because I don't think a lot of players spend their time over at the Octavoid. Well, Mumbo has recently, that's for sure. And as I mentioned, he's given us some fantastic inspiration here. So I'm going to do some preparations and I'm going to show you what I've got planned for this place. So between this clip and the last one, a day has passed by where I've become, unfortunately, rather ill. Which is never a good thing, but as a full-time YouTuber, it does mean I'm at home and I can spend the day in bed when I need to. And I've woken up and I'm feeling a fair bit better at the moment, so I thought it would be a good idea to hop on here and show you what it is that I want to do. Hey, and look at that, we've flown right inside here. And wow, what a spooky sight it is in here. A little bit chaotic, right? And this is crazy. Mumbo must have used an insane amount of pumpkins. We will try to collect them all and count them. That would be a fun thing to do, I believe. But my idea over here is to change the pumpkins into something else. So when I saw them sitting on top of these towers, it screamed at me that we needed our own little creatures on top of these towers. Now, what is this place? Apart from being a crazy big build, it is also a guardian farm. If I shush myself for a second, you may hear the sound of guardians slapping their tails down there. They're in there, trust me, there's a farm. And what we're going to do on top of here is put some little guardians. So I've brought with me some prismarine blocks, some sea lanterns, and I've forgotten to bring dark prismarine, quartz, and red. The quartz and red will be for the eye, and the dark prismarine will be for its brow. We're going to build a little circular mini guardian on top of here, and I think it'll look pretty cool. Well, that didn't take long, and the other players are probably really annoyed with me right now, logging in and out over and over again, because these blocks, when you break them, they do that ghost block thing and they reappear, but you can't see them, so you have to log off and log back in again. Yikes, that's quite a long way down, isn't it? And I'm determined to pick up every block and count them all here. I want to know how many stacks of these things Mumbo used in total. Look, my inventory is almost full up. I brought some chests with me because I knew there were going to be a lot of these things to pick up. And, oh, that is the sound of guardians dying, isn't it? There we go, that looks like 5 and almost 6 stacks per pumpkin head. As well as this stuff as well, which is not so useful. Well, the pumpkins aren't that useful, to be fair, either. I've got to say it, I am sad to be tearing this down. I think as far as pranks goes, this is a very, very memorable prank. Mumbo really outdid himself on this one. But now we've got to tear them all down, which I think means we're going to need a little bit of music. Well, there we go, back to normal, and it's not quite as impressive as it was a moment ago, funny enough, but we're going to restore it, and I've got to say, I love the Ring of Fire. I've left the netherrack on there because I think that might stay. Now, I don't like the red of the netherrack, but I love the fire up there, and I've been thinking that maybe there is another way we could do this, have some lights around the outside. It looks really great at night, and maybe the best way to do it is to actually lower the netherrack so it's down in the water. But either way, I want to keep that bit just for now to remind us of the prank. But anyway, let's see if we can throw an ender pearl on top of one of these. That should be good enough, or it's a complete failure. There we go, much better. Second time lucky. Well, actually, third time lucky, because I threw one into the fire, which was no good. So anyway, this place right here, the dirt is pretty ugly. That's going to get torn up and replaced with something else. And then we're going to put some dark prismarine up here as well, which is something that I need to gather. We're going to build like a little pedestal for something very cool, which is going to go on the top. It's probably about time I told you what we're going to be building up here, as this dark prismarine doesn't make this look particularly interesting, does it? Just want to say though, this place looks great at night. I love the fire. It's so cool. But anyway, what we're going to do is build a guardian up here, a little miniature guardian that's going to be a bit more circular than the square or cubic ones that we see in the game. And initially I was going to build something the same size as what Mumbo had built, but then I felt like it didn't quite work with the proportions of the face of the guardian. So now what we've got are these little stands, and then our guardian is going to rest on top of it. It looks pretty cool inside of a guardian, doesn't it? I feel like we should put something there, like there should be a secret in each one of these. And how would you get to it? Well, you could ender pearl on the top of here and drop down where the beacon beam is. That's right, the beacon beam goes through this thing, and it's a little bit dark up here, isn't it? Ooh, I've got a feeling this doesn't work. Let's find out. Oh, what was it I learned? Yes, it was that. It was that. Does this have silk touch? It does. Amazing. See, I always thought they went through that in glowstone, and then earlier this season it was like, oh no, apparently it doesn't. Maybe we'll put a light source just at the roof on the inside, or find a way to get light up here so things don't spawn on it. I know what you want to see. You want to stop seeing me mess around with those beacons, and we want to check this thing out from a distance. Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. I'm not so sure about the stand that it's on though. It kind of works. And he's missing some spikes from down below, isn't he? There should be some on the bottom there. You see, Mumbo's ones were a fair bit bigger, but this looked really odd when it was bigger. And do you know what? I don't want to rush into making a decision here. He's also got a tail. It's going to be kind of hard to look at that. So let's jump through the fire and just move over to this side a little bit. There you go, he's got a tail sticking out the back. So my idea was 4 of those in total. Now what I loved about Mumbo's pumpkins was how they just sort of sat so well on top of these things, and that's not quite the same, I've got to be honest. So before I commit to doing anything too crazy, I think we should double think this one. It took not a lot of time to build, and it's also missing some spikes down the bottom here. Don't be alarmed, it's not the real Hermitcraft. I'm not really in creative mode. It's a different world, as you can see. Look at that, that's how it used to look before we started building everywhere. This bit has been left over because I've been doing some chunk pruning, so the world around here is generated like normal. Enough about that though, this is what it would look like with 4 of them. I really do think it's pretty cool actually seeing 4 of them. I like it a lot, but it doesn't quite sit on top of this pillar of ice as well as what Mumbo built. So, as well as this, I have prepared something else as well. And here it is. As soon as I saw it, I got a smile on my face, and I realised what this one is about is more of the comical value of what it looks like, because the proportions of the body to the eye do not work, nor do the spikes as well, but they look kind of hilarious, right? They're a little bit unfinished actually. I've noticed that there are some spikes missing in certain places, but they sit on top of those pillars so much better. And I really cannot make up my mind. I do think, though, now that I've seen it like this, that the size of the eye doesn't really matter so much, you know? That is just very, very cool looking, and now I'm very tempted to build that. Aha, it looks like I didn't do my world edit properly. This guy has a tail from the one that was there before. Let's get rid of that. And in the daytime, it doesn't look quite as good, to be fair. But as always in this game, I tend to shoot myself in the foot. Why did I not do this before I started building? I've already built some little platforms and one of the smaller Guardian. And now basically I'm just going to tear it up and build these, because I made up my mind. Now that I've seen them in place, I know that this is how it's supposed to be. 2 down and 2 more to go. No regrets here. That was the correct decision. That thing looks ridiculous. I love it. And again, Mumbo, if you're watching, thank you so much. As soon as I saw those shapes, they just made so much sense on the top of these things. And that looks seriously cool. Oh, and anyway, we're gonna take a break from that for a second, because I've been building for hours, and I would like to go into the shopping district and check up on our golden carrot shop. But I have been receiving some comments about this place that we checked out a while ago. Apparently there have been some developments, so I just kind of like wandered into this as I... Oh yeah, and it makes the Mario sound thing. Yeah, I wandered into here, and there's supposedly been some developments in this little place down the bottom here. We can still get into this. Oh wow, yeah, there are things everywhere here. What are they hanging down from the walls there? Your young strange meat. What? Prepared strange meat. Repaired strange meat. Jeez. Pickled delicacies. Someone is selling some dodgy looking food. Human kidney? What is going on? What is this place? This is just odd. Aged strange meat. Where is this strange meat coming from, eh? This is crazy. Warning explosive. Is this a trap? A warhead. What? An atomic warhead? And a nuclear... Who is selling these things? What is this a shop? I feel like I've stumbled into the black market. Do not open weapon crates. Does this count as opening one? Napalm, jeez. Handle with care. A carpet, what is going on? And over here, do not ride the missile. Jeez, there's a missile in the corner. I better leave that alone. Apparently this has been reserved. It's a missile. What is going on? What is this place? Hydrogen cyanide. There needs to be some investigating done here. This does not sound very friendly. Warning, radioactive. Polonium. I've never even heard of that before. Amphetamines? Cocaine. What? This is some illegal drugs going on over here. Oh dear. I do not know what have I stumbled into, but I think I'm just going to back out slowly out of this place. How does that sound? Let's just slowly back out of here and let's pretend that we never visited this place. Oh, well that was a crazy Crazy dream. What on earth was all that about? Can barely remember it. Anyway, let's go and check up on our golden carrot shop. Man, look at that guy's expression on his face. So ridiculous. I love it. Every time I walk over here, I get a smile. Then I get a bigger smile because usually there's some diamonds for me to pick up. Now, I like diamonds. I've got a feeling you like them too. We've actually sold out of that chest. Can you believe it? That's crazy. Okay, 21 in total and more here. We are actually running low on golden carrots, which means I need to do more AFKing at the gold farm, which means I'm going to get a crazy amount more XP, which also means I'm going to get more and more comments where people ask me, why do I have so much XP? 270 levels, it's because of our amazing gold farm that we built earlier in the season, and it gets us lots of gold, and that's how we make the golden carrots. So 32 diamonds, half a stack, terrific. And while we wander over to our other profitable shop, I do want to talk about something that may look slightly different, and it might just be right in front of me right now. That's right, the path blocks. So I got a suggestion after we did the Vanilla Tweaks video, so we updated our Vanilla Tweaks pack, which, by the way, if you don't know about this, go check out the videos on my channel, search for Vanilla Tweaks. We have all of this stuff right here. There's some other stuff that I'm testing as well. One of those being grass path sides. And basically these are all small changes. And this one I really, really like. I added podsole and snow and a few other things as well. And then I got a ton of suggestions to do grass sides. And I think it really works. And oh my goodness me, we have sold all of the boost bows. Now that I was not expecting. Like all of them. Who needed to buy that many? I mean, I'm assuming that multiple people brought them, right? But to see all of them disappear in one go, who needed that many boost bows? It couldn't have been, like, you know, everyone happening to need one at the same time, right? I would love to know who was behind that. So, I always forget where to go. We've got the gold shop over there. We've got this thing back down here as well. So, this one usually yields a few diamonds. I cannot believe how profitable our shops are on this server. So what do we have in here? Just 9 this time. 9 diamonds. Let's double check that's the one for me. Yes, it is. Ah, and out here you can see the grass paths when they're just full blocks. Doesn't look quite as good like that, but when you've got some oak slabs between, I think that little tweak works really, really well. And anyway, as you may have seen on the resource pack menu, that one will be available in the next update, and I have no idea when I'm going to be releasing it. More diamonds for me. More diamonds for me. I like it. I like it. Oh my goodness me. You'll never get bored of looking into chests and picking out your diamonds. This is insane. Crazy amounts of profit we have made today. Almost 2 stacks. That has got to be a record right there. Amazing stuff. Anyway, if you're interested in the grass paths, look at that. Looks really good when it's in a position like that. There'll be a link to the... well, to the Vanilla Tweaks video, although it doesn't have the grass paths yet. But if you're interested in all the other stuff that's changed, then look in the description box. Hello, kitty! Alright, now the 2 at the back are done, and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, where is the best place to look at this from? I kind of want to bring on the camera account and fly around and look at it, which we'll do in a second. That's really not going to reach the island, is it? No, we've reached the grass. The glass! Wow, I always say that wrong. And look at it, amazing. I am so happy with how this has turned out. That is extremely cool, and it means that the top part of our farm is done for now. We get to focus on what's going on down below. There's a couple of things that I need to do, like patch up the clay there, and we've got some chests here that need sorting out as well. We have a junk chest from where we were building before, and then we also have this chest here, and Mumbo signs. These can go down now as well, and I forgot to show it earlier. This is how much resources Mumbo sort of gave us in a way. An insane amount of pumpkins. I don't know whatever we will do with them, and there was a little bit more as well. As you can see, this chest has been filled up. So anyway, I'm going to take those down below. We do have a storage area down here, and I'm going to patch this in as well. I found it! I found it! I never thought I was going to find this. So we've been using this shovel for a while, and I've been scratching my head as to where Asuma's spade has gone. I just lost it one day, and apparently I decided to put it in that chest there. So we got that back. That's terrific. Here we go. This is going to be a tough one. I'm so going to get this wrong. Yep, I got it wrong. I'll tell you what, this thing can go as well. We don't need it here. So we're going to go up above and have a look. at the place now that it's finished, and all we've got to do now is focus on the underground area. There's plenty more to be done down here. As I mentioned earlier though, I've been ill, I'm still under the weather, my voice does hurt a little bit when I talk, so it's definitely going to be a shorter episode today. So reporting live from the eye in the sky, I gotta say this has turned out amazing, and we're just going to fly around for a second here. It looks supremely cool, gotta say that. Awesome stuff. And the fire will stay for a while. I think what I might do is just push it down by 1 block, but otherwise it looks pretty spectacular here, right? And that is going to be it from me at this episode. I do hope you have enjoyed this one. We haven't got as much done as I did mention though. I have been sick and under the weather, so I hope you don't mind that. And that's it from me, so I will see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Bye bye.